everyone. Welcome to episode 4 or week 4 of Wind Down Wednesdays. I want you to take a minute before we start tonight and give yourself a little pat on the back, send yourself a little bit of love for your commitment to this practice. So this is our 4th week in a row of doing this, and maybe you've already noticed some changes in your life. Maybe you've noticed that you feel a little bit calmer. Maybe you've noticed that for the day or two after this practice, you feel calmer and more relaxed, or you have some inspiration, some increased creativity. Maybe you find that after a few days, you're sort of looking forward to your next practice, and all of those are great signs that you're on the right track, that you've made a commitment to yourself. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that tonight. But I just have 2 brief announcements. So I did post about reading my blog post. My most recent blog post is about recognizing and honoring your personal cycle of renewal. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. If you didn't read it, no worries, don't stress about it. But I do encourage you to check it out after the fact. I go into more detail about where this practice came from, why I decided to do this tonight. And I think it's a pretty powerful practice. So you can visit my website, which is paulataylorenergy.com. And all of the blog posts are right there on the homepage. The most recent will be the first one that you see. I think that time is probably our most precious commodity here on this physical plane. And so many of us honor other people with our time, but not necessarily ourselves. We don't stop to ask ourselves, what do we really need? Do we need to spend time with ourselves? Do we need to spend time in nature? And that's what I wrote about recently when I recognized my own cycle of renewal. Most of us, the majority of us, are living in a 7-day week. And, we might work 5 days a week and then spend a day catching up on housework and then maybe a day with family, but we don't really take a lot of time to rest for ourselves. And what I recognized for myself recently is that my personal cycle of renewal is not 7 days, it's more like 4 to 5 days. So what I mean by that is that every 4 to 5 days, I need to take some time and perform my own renewal ritual, and I'm going to get into that in just a second. So that's the first part of the meditation tonight. We're going to get in touch with our intuition and then ask our higher self, what is our personal cycle of renewal? And it could be anything. It could be 7 days. Maybe that, works for you. It could be longer than 7 days. Maybe you can go 14 or 15 before you need to perform your renewal ritual. But it's very important to honor that information. Once you receive that answer, then that's what the renewal ritual is about. So the second part of the meditation will be continuing to tap into our higher self and ask, what is our cycle? And what is our renewal ritual to honor that cycle? So if you read the blog post, I kind of go into detail about what mine is, just to give you an example of the information that came to me when I did this meditation. And it could vary widely. Again, I mention this every week. Generally, your first intuition, the first thing that comes to you, is correct. It's the most powerful. If you wait, sometimes that information will kind of adjust a little bit, and maybe, you, like I thought mine was 4 days, but then I got this like 4 to 5 day. But by day 6, if I haven't done my ritual, that's when I start feeling tired. That's when I start getting cranky. That's when I start having physical pain that seems kind of inexplicable. Like yesterday I was fine and now everything hurts, that kind of thing. So really be gentle with yourself through this process. I say that again every week, but it's so important. Try not to judge yourself. Just see what comes up. And when we get into the part about recognizing your ritual, start small if you need to. So if your ritual comes and it's just like a giant list, keep that in your mind. Maybe write it down, journal about it after we're done with the meditation. But don't feel like you have to. You can build up to this. It's like yoga. You don't start doing a one-armed balance, with your feet above your head when you start with yoga. You start and you build. So maybe there's 5 things on your list of your ritual. Then maybe you start with the first one. Or maybe it's a time commitment that's seems like it's a little bit too much. Maybe, your ritual calls for 1 to 2 hours of alone time every time your cycle resets, and you don't have that right now, then take 10 minutes out. This is all about intention. Energy work is always about intention. So you want to honor yourself by listening to your intuition, but your intuition, your higher self, recognizes that you're making an effort. And that's what the most important part about this is honoring yourself, not judging yourself, and just committing to this time, this ritual, this cycle of renewal for yourself. This is how we tell ourselves, this is true self-love, giving ourselves respect, connecting to our higher self, honoring the information that we receive from our higher self, and then acting on that information. So I think that's it. I have my notes here just in case I forget. My last thing that I want to say before we get started is that if you're new to this work and we're doing meditations and you're not getting information, that's completely okay. You can come back to these meditations at any time. You can also reach out to me. I have booking available on my website if you decide you want to do a one-on-one session, but be gentle with yourself. Don't expect too much. That kind of defeats the purpose. We don't want to create more stress. We want to lower our stress by tapping into this intuition. So let's start. Get nice and comfortable. Again, I encourage you to sit up if you can. Sometimes if you lie down, you'll end up falling asleep, and that's okay too. It happens to all of us. I actually like to meditate lying down a lot of times, but if you find that you fall asleep more times than not, then it's good to sit up. Take a nice big deep breath in through your nose. Let it out with an audible sigh like I just did. Breathing like this increases our oxytocin, produces love and relaxation. It shifts us into the parasympathetic nervous system where we can have more relaxation. So take 2 or 3 more deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Add the sigh if it feels good. Feel your body start to relax a little bit just through the deepened breathing. Set an intention for this practice tonight to be very gentle and respectful of yourself. Let's let go of any judgments, any negative feelings about ourselves. We're stepping into that observer self, that objective self, where we just receive information without judging it, without letting emotion take over. If emotion comes up, just deepen your breathing, let it come, don't try to fight it. The emotion will pass as you breathe deeply and release that energy. Bring your awareness to the top of your head. Imagine the crown of your head, your crown chakra, opening, and invite the most beautiful, gentle, glowing, warm, golden light to come in through the top of your head. We're inviting that divine energy here, that unconditional love, to come into our body. Let that energy come in through the top of your head. Let that light fill your brain. Let it come into the skull, the bones of the face, your eyes. Allow that golden light to continue to flow down your body. Let it come into your throat and your neck. Let it come through your jaw and out into your shoulders, Allow this divine love to flow into your arms, through the upper arms and into your elbows, into the forearms and your wrists and hands. Allow this golden light to come into the chest and upper back. Let it flow into your heart center. Let yourself feel connected to something larger than yourself, to this beautiful golden light and love of the source of all that is. Let that energy continue to flow down into your belly and your mid-back, to your low belly and low back. Pause for a moment and really let this beautiful golden light fill your hips and your pelvis. And then let it flow into your legs, down your thighs. Feel the warmth of this beautiful golden light coming into your knees. Give yourself a moment here to breathe into the knees and really let this light permeate all the aspects of your knees, your physical knees, the energy that your knees represent, supporting you. Let that light continue to flow down into your shins, into your calves. Let it come down into your ankles and your feet. Notice how settled you feel now, how relaxed. If you've been practicing the meditation from last week and you're comfortable heading to your energetic sanctuary, to your planet, you can head there now. If you're not, don't worry about it. Start to picture the most beautiful place you can imagine. Let yourself go there now. Notice where you are, whether you're outside or inside. Notice what the scenery looks like in either place. Let yourself feel very safe and secure in this beautiful surrounding. If you want to, you can make this next part less abstract by imagining yourself looking into a mirror and seeing your higher self, meeting the soul that occupies your body, that connected spirit that is made of that divine golden light we've called in. If you don't need to do that, that's fine too. Just do what feels right. Whatever is comfortable to you, whatever comes naturally is the right decision. If you're not a visual person, you can imagine yourself picking up a telephone and calling your higher self, connecting with your soul in that way. Or you can just set the intention that you're connected to your intuition, to your highest self. All information that comes from this place is for your highest good. It's connected to that divine source, that golden light that fills our body now. Give yourself a moment or two to really feel connected in this space, to use whatever visualization feels appropriate to connect to your higher self, or to just set that intention. I am now connected to my intuition, to my highest self. All information that comes through is for my highest good. And as you're ready, ask your highest self the question, what is my renewal cycle? And then just get quiet and wait for your answer. If nothing comes to you right away, that's okay. If nothing comes to you at any point in the meditation, that's completely fine too. You can come back and revisit this. Just enjoy being in this safe, secure, beautiful location. And relax. Don't put any pressure on yourself. You can ask the question again, what is my personal cycle of renewal? And see if anything else comes up. And when you're ready, ask your highest self, your intuition, what is my renewal ritual? You can ask what it looks like and see visuals if that works for you. You can imagine your highest self handing you a list. You can just sit quietly and see what kind of impressions you get. What is my renewal ritual? How can I best honor myself through rejuvenation? Just relax and see what information comes to you. Again, letting go of any judgments. If you don't hear an answer right away, sometimes these kind of practices take patience even within the meditation. So just continue to stay quiet and relaxed and wait for an answer. What is my personal renewal ritual? What can I do to best honor my cycle of renewal? How can I love myself more fully by honoring my cycle of renewal? If you're still working with those two questions, be patient. If you feel like you have an answer, now is the time to ask your highest self if there's any more information that you need to know right now. You can come back to this space at any time and connect with your highest self, this divine energy. But before we leave here today, get quiet one more time and open your mind, open your heart, open your ears, and wait for any more information. What is my personal cycle of renewal? What is my personal renewal ritual? What else do I need to know right now? Enjoy this space, this connection for the last few moments. Once again, letting go of any judgments, of any stress. Let go of your need to have answers in this moment and just enjoy this space. Let yourself feel completely rooted here in this beautiful location. Notice how your body feels here, how your heart feels. Has your mind slowed down? Take one last look around. Notice what it smells like here. Let yourself take a big deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, and let it out with a big sigh. Let yourself feel totally connected to the divine energy of this space, to your true divine essence. And then very, very slowly begin to draw your awareness back into the physical, back into your body, into the room that you're in, into the chair that you're sitting on, or the floor, or your couch. Remember that you are always connected to this divine energy. Your divine essence, your highest self, is always available. Once more, bring your awareness to the top of the head. You can let that energy continue to flow in your head from above, or you can very gently close that crown, whatever feels right to you. Let your awareness come down through the head to the throat and neck again, out into the shoulders and the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, wrists, and hands. Bring your awareness into your chest and upper back. Let it come back into the mid-back, the belly, the low belly and low back, into the hips and pelvis. Let that energy flow back down into your thighs and your knees, down the lower legs and into your ankles and your feet. Wiggle your toes a little bit. Feel what your feet feel like against the ground. You can move your wrists, Roll your wrists a little bit, wiggle your fingers. We're just coming back fully into the body. And set the intention out loud or in your mind. I am fully present in my body. I am fully present in my body. I am fully present in my body. Let your breathing relax back to its normal rhythm. And as you're ready, you can open your eyes. I encourage you to check back in, repeat this meditation. If you feel like there's more information that you want to receive, you can use this not just for the cycle of renewal, but to check in and ask other questions to your highest self. If you did get answers tonight, I encourage you to write them down. If you have a journal, this is a great place to write those. That act of writing is your first step toward a commitment to practicing your new renewal ritual. And again, be gentle with yourself. This is a process, this is a practice. But I encourage you to put an actual appointment into your calendar and start that renewal cycle. So I have one in my calendar every 5 days. It says renewal day today. And I know when I see that that's my day to complete my ritual. And I also know what the consequences are if I don't. So I choose to wait at my own peril. This is a life-changing practice. It has changed my life in just the couple weeks that I've been doing it. So I encourage you to continue with this. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.